Good afternoon, thanks for joining me on this little winter spring haul. So these are fragrances obviously that I have added to my collection over the past sort of month or so, and I thought I'd just share them with you. There are six fragrances, so there's a little bit of damage here. I've still continued to buy fragrances once I've sold one from my collection. So my collection still sits around 91. So I'm quite happy with that, but I do want to get it down more, but it's hard when you keep finding new things, or you just get that little itch to want something in your collection you've not had before, or that you've not had for a while, because actually one of these is one I used to have and I sold it and I craved it and sort of missed it a bit, so I bought it back. The rest of these are all ones that I've not had before, with the exception of another, which I'm very proud to say is because I actually finished a bottle and I decided to treat myself with a bigger bottle. It's the first bottle I've ever finished, and even though it's only a 15ml bottle, yeah, I'm not going to discredit that. It's still the first bottle that I've ever finished, so I'm very happy. And I thought, that's it, I'm treating myself to the bigger bottle, and that's the one we're going to start with. So I'll go through all of these. They're obviously quite a range here, they're all very varied, and they all look so pretty lined up. So the first one I wanted to share with you was the one over here on the left from Xerjoff. This is Starlight from the Shooting Stars collection. It's hard to get to focus properly because there's so much light coming in from behind, so I'll do my best. The bottle is absolutely exquisite, and the packaging as well was absolutely stunning, and I will try and insert a little video of the packaging as well, but the frame is too small to fit everything in. So this is the perfume that I actually finished a smaller bottle of. So I had my little 15ml, which is so beautifully adorable. I love this little thing. I'm not sure what to do with this little bottle. It seems a bit too, cute to dump. It's lovely, really. I don't know if anyone else sells empty bottles. I've seen people sell empty bottles on eBay. It is a very cute little thing. I mean, you could, if you had the apparatus, you could refill it with something. But anyway, so that is one I've emptied. So obviously I have treated myself to the proper bottle. I've seen these on people's videos and thought, yeah, it is a stunning bottle. But in life, it just draws so much attention. It's so opulent and beautiful. It could be my new favourite bottle, actually. But yes, so it's a stunning cardamom, borderline gourmand, kind of spicy delight. It's rich and golden and enveloping and slightly spicy with that lovely cardamom. But the thing about this is that although it does come across to me as very resinous, it's got that ambery resinous, just that warm feeling. It's so bright. It's a very bright scent. I think there's bergamot in the top notes, which doesn't clash with anything. It doesn't feel like it's just a top note that's coming in and then disappears. It gives it a luminosity while still having this dense, weighty feel. And the cardamom feels so sweet in here. Because of the sweetness, I've heard people talk about this being a kind of a cardamom cookie. I get it, how to bring across that sweetness. I get how they're talking about a cookie, but it's really not a cookie because there's nothing baked. It's nothing like warm bready. It's not that kind of sugary sweet to me. It's more like a crystallized cardamom, a sweet crystallized cardamom that's enveloped in that really warm, glowing golden amber. And it's a beautiful wear. It feels like a treat when I'm wearing it. And it's a scent that I do crave. I don't think I've got nothing else that smells like this. And it's such a specific scent, a warming, cozy scent, that I do really crave this one. Hence why I've worn so much of it. And I've now got a bigger bottle. So really happy that I got this. And I got this at a really good price as well. That's the important part. I think it's allbeauty.com. Are selling it for 150 and it should be 237 or something. Starlight from Xerjoff. So hiding at the back and looking very pretty in pink is the Miss Dior Rose Essence. This is my only Miss Dior, and I've always had my eye on this one because, being obviously a rose-centric fragrance, very simple apparently, but rose-centric, I always wanted to try it. I'm not a fan of all the Miss Dior's, for me, it's not my personal preference, but typically perfumey they seem to come across to me. Oh, when I got a sample of this one, I decided that it was something that I would really love to have. It comes across to me as more of a musky rose, even though I think it's classed as a woody rose, chypre. But I find there's a very clean musk in here that is dominant on my skin. and that can be hit and miss. I did get a sample of this first, and so I wore it a few times and thought, no, I am really enjoying the wear of it. I think it's because of how beautiful the rose quality is. This Mr. Dior Rose Essence was created as a celebration of the May rose harvest. So it really is all about this May rose and all these petals, and it is a very petally, pink rose petally kind of a scent. It's very pretty, it's very simple, and it's very light. And it to some people, the rose style of scent here could remind you of rose scented soap or rose scented, you know, diffusers. It has that sort of quality, but because of how pretty and pure it is, it does really work as a perfume. It's very smooth and very true, and it's lovely for spring. This is a very light wear. It's lovely for spring. This is when I'm going to wear it, is springtime. And I say that is because the musk, I think in the summer when it starts to get very warm, I don't think the musk will play well in the heat. For me personally, I'm very sensitive to musk. And although the musk doesn't get talked about as much in this scent, on me, it's the quality that sets it apart from my other roses. It's just more of a rose musk for me. But so pretty, and definitely a bouncy, pretty pink, you know, that pure lovely rose, especially for spring. I actually wore it today. It didn't last a great deal. It's not a very heavy scent. You'd have to respray this. But I really enjoyed wearing it for the time that it lasted. At least I found it very pretty, and I was pleased to get this on a good deal on eBay as well. I must point out that all of these are from eBay apart from Starlight. This is the only one I bought from an actual retailer. So I tend to get everything from eBay because I just prefer to get a bargain. And this was another bargain. So yeah, that is Miss Dior Rose Essence. So number 3 here is Such a Pretty Scent. Now this one represents almost like a marker or a milestone of how far I've come in adapting and, you know, my scent evolving and appreciating notes that I used to assume I would never ever enjoy. And I've had quite a new love and quite a flow of tuberose fragrances recently, if they're done in a certain way. But I can really appreciate that flower now, and it does bring something very different to what I'm used to. Narcotic V from Nassomato is a tuberose fragrance, and I sampled this one years ago. I fell in love with the bottle, seeing it online and just thinking, God, I'd love that bottle. It's so pretty. I love the contrast of this heavy wooden top with the delicate pink juice and pretty little glass bottle that it is. And when I first sampled it, it was just no way I was ever going to get this, because the tuberose was typical in my eyes of being that bubblegum hairspray, just a scent profile that I just didn't connect to. I've always kept the sample because I've always intrigued, because the scent intrigues me. I just didn't think I could ever wear it. So recently I saw the lovely Chantel Tiffany talking about Narcotic V in a recent haul that she had, and it made me revisit my sample once again this year. I hadn't smelt it for a good year or so. And I started to wear it, and I just think, you know what, this is actually really pretty. I hadn't really given it enough thought before. I hadn't really given it enough of an experience, enough of a wear, and I really enjoyed it. Lovely Chantel Tiffany, who's got lovely fragrance taste. She always buys the best fragrances, and I figured if she loves this, this is definitely worth retrying. I'm so pleased I did. It does open with the bubblegummy. Is it bubblegummy? I find it dry. This is a dry tuberose, but sweet and smooth and very pretty, but I think it's kind of dry, almost in a grassy kind of way. I guess it is bubblegummy, but it's not a big loud tuberose. It's not big. It's almost like it's weaved between this drier quality, but it's so simple and kind of perfect, and it smells pretty. Like it's a very bridal, pretty, delicate, yeah, kind of innocent kind of a style of tuberose. And I think what I missed before when I tried it was just how subtle the sweetness is, but it's there. It's actually very kind of smooth all the way through. I think this is beautiful for both spring and summer in terms of the you know, the strength of it, things like that. It's not heavy. I don't think it would bother me in the summer because it wears quite light, and it gets more transparent that's the thing about it. It's kind of a transparent, pretty scent. I'm quite taken with Narcotic V. I'm so pleased to have it in my collection. It's been a long time of me wanting this bottle but not wanting the scent, and now it's like full circle. I love the scent, I love the bottle. I'm so glad to have it. So yeah, thanks Chantel Tiffany for the influence there. And that is Narcotic V by Nassomato. So I recently bought a load of samples, including Amouage's new one, Love Delight. I'm not a fan of that. I think that house just doesn't really work for me. But out of all the ones I tried, there was one that just stood out and just kept me so captivated by it. So Guerlain, obviously these are the older bottles. And before they stopped making these older, slender bottles, there was one last release called Iris Torrefie. Hang on, is it Torrefie? Torrefie. So when this was first released, I did keep an eye on a lot of reviews, and there was mixed opinions, and it didn't seem, you know, as popular as many of the others. Reading a Fragrantica reviews, it seemed like it was going to be quite a heavy masculine scent. I'm not one for coffee, and the style of it just didn't seem like something I was going to be interested in. So I wrote that off. But when I got a sample, and tried it, turns out it's right up my street. Really, really a beautiful iris scent. Now, ironically, it does remind me a lot of a fragrance I actually recently decluttered, which was Mr. Thompson from Penhaligon's. Now, that is a really lovely iris fragrance, a very soft, beautiful iris fragrance that it had a sesame note that I just couldn't get on board with in the end. So I decluttered that. Now, this is very similar in the way the iris has been done, but there's nothing that bothers me in this. In fact, it's so luscious. Is that the way to describe it? It's so warming, enveloping, addictive. I don't know what it is about this scent, but like, I just can't stop spraying it and sniffing it, and I've been wearing it a lot lately. I wore it last night. It's a lovely evening scent, but I think I could just spray this all the time because I just keep craving it. What this actually dominantly is for me is leather. It's a beautiful, warming, soft, just opulent smelling leather. It has that elegant softness that these Guerlains have. But I find it tender. It's so smooth and tender, quite dark. Now there's coffee in here, like I said, which I don't think really is, you don't really pick out the coffee. But if you were to focus on that note while sniffing it, you would smell a kind of dry darkness. And that's probably what the coffee is bringing. We've also got cardamom in here. Obviously, I do love my cardamom. And I don't know where the cardamom is in here. Maybe it's bringing a very subtle spicy sweetness, a bit of warmth. It's a very, very subtle blend. Like, you just don't pick anything out. But the overall feel of it is leathery. It's a very soft leather. Not suede, but definitely leather. In a kind of sexy way. I find leather quite a sexy scent. But it's done in that beautiful Guerlain, soft, alluring, elegant, understated kind of way. But I love how there's a darkness, like a dark current running through it, whether it's from the coffee, whether it's from the actual leather, I don't know. But I find it just so appealing, an easy one for me to reach for. Is it masculine? Is it feminine? Does it matter? It just sits in the middle, I think. It's beautiful either way. Absolutely love Iris Torrefie, and again, another eBay bargain. There was a seller selling quite a few of these off for £100 each. That is very good for this. It's this style of bottle as well, which are now obviously very rare. You can still buy Iris Torrefie from Guerlain, but it has the newer packaging. But I really wanted this packaging. This is my favourite, and I'm so happy that I managed to find this seller who was selling them. I think there was a few left on eBay. I'm not sure. UK, obviously. So if you're looking for it, good luck. I hope you get it. So 2 more left before the light fails. Holy Peony. Now, I had a bottle of this. I had a 125ml bottle of this a couple of years ago, or 3 years ago now. And I just suddenly stopped enjoying wearing it. I was comparing it to other fragrances I had, and I just overthought it, overanalyzed it, and decided that the dry down wasn't exactly what I wanted. And I used to sell things pretty quick back then. I mean, I still do that now, really. But once I get something that bothers me, I'm very quick to just move it on. I don't want to hang around with something. But I started missing this recently. I love my Diors, I really do, and I feel like I was missing this perfume from my little Dior, well, I say little Dior collection, my last Dior collection, but I didn't want a big bottle of it because obviously I'd been down that road, and I didn't need a big bottle. I just wanted to have it for spraying on occasion, and it's not how I remember it, actually. It's actually better than I remember it. When I had it before, I used to think of the dry down as kind of dry, and there was a quality that I wasn't on board with, but for some reason this one seems more sweet. See, Peony is that flower that tends to bring a very shampooey quality to things. It's clean and frilly, but dry. But this one's very bouncy and sweet and cutesy and girly and friendly. It does have that clean hair shampooey vibe to it. It really does. Very pink smelling, and it's just sweet. It's enjoyable. Yeah, it's good for layering because it also is just the flower. I like that it doesn't go into a fruity direction either. There's nothing complicated here. It's just this lovely pink peony, and it's nicely done. So again, that's Holy Peony from Dior. Ooh. So last up we have one from Maison Lancome. So let's push that out of the way, and it is Jasmin Dew. Du. And this was a blind buy actually. It was pretty risky because it obviously is a jasmine fragrance, and me and Jasmine don't always get along. I have to be honest, there's no real rhyme or reason why I blind bought this, other than I just talked myself into it because I really wanted another Maison Lancome bottle, which is crazy. But I love these bottles. The collection seems to be getting smaller. They get discontinued a lot. And I just wanted another one. Started reading up on this one, and it turns out that it's not typically jasmine. I mean, it's jasmine, but it's not heavy. It's not indolic, and it's not challenging. And it sounded like, from all the reviews I'd read and heard, it sounded really pretty, really easy. Aside from me wanting just another Maison Lancome bottle, which I know is crazy, the other appealing part of this, which was why I went for it, is because it comes off as quite a green floral. And I do love a hint of green with a floral. I just find that so refreshing. And I really enjoy this scent. Thank goodness. I really enjoy it. So some of the notes in here were quite scary. Jasmine tea, the musk. They're all the qualities that normally bring the jasmine out in the worst way for me. Indolic and just not appealing at all. But this scent, although it does smell like jasmine, it's so watery. And it's so transparent and so pretty, and I love the amount of greenness in here as well. It is watery and transparent, but it's green in the same kind of way, not semi-green, just fresh, yeah, like grassy dewdrops, which brings the greenness, and that's the part I really enjoy. It's so clean and fresh, really fresh, very, very simple. This is an easy blind buy. It is, yeah, and very light. And nothing is too strong in here. When I first tried this, the first scent I thought it reminded me of was Jasmin's D'Ange from Dior. I love this scent, even though, again, it's another jasmine scent. It's so pretty, but also delicious because it has lovely fruits in here. And it's just such a beautiful scent. So if you take away the fruits, make it more watery, and add that green dewdrop background, that is really kind of what you're getting here. There's another scent this reminds me of, actually, and it's from Jo Malone. It's the one called Wild Bluebell. And I've always said that Wild Bluebell from Jo Malone feels very ozonic to me. It's a very blue kind of a scent. Very, again, transparent, not really very floral on my skin. This reminds me of this. And the more I wear this, the more I feel like it's quite ozonic. But not blue smelling. It's weird. It's like a fresh, airy, ozonic background, but still leans more green. It's very lightly done. It's a little touch of all those things. Very lightly done. So it's very pretty. It's very clean. It's very easy. It's very cooling. It's lovely for the spring and summer, this one. Very refreshing, simple, pretty tonic. It's really lovely, actually. I'm so glad I got this one. I've now got 3 Maison Lancome bottles, and they're all lined up looking rather beautiful, and this one's sitting at the front because this is the one I'm going to be wearing the most probably in spring. So yeah, that is Jasmin's Dew, and that's the last one to complete this winter spring haul. So there you go. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'd love to know if you've tried Iris Torrefie, because it didn't really get much hype. It sort of fell between the cracks in a way, this scent. And I think it's a stunning leathery iris, like I said. So let me know if you've tried that one and what you think of it. But yeah, that is all for today. Thanks so much for watching as always, and I'll see you on my next one. Take care, over and out.